Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well this evening. As you can see, Oscar just came over to say hi. Oscar, he was found in a garbage can years ago, something like 10 years ago. Karen nursed him back to health. He was just a baby, maybe less than a day old. And somehow he decided that he was Karen's assistant on nursing kittens and puppies back to health. And yes, I mean nursing. He used to take possession of them and curl up with them and try to nurse them. And yes, it is Oscar as a he. Very strong motherly instincts, but it's just Oscar. He likes to rub, and I'm going to have to shoo him away, tell him, go away. And now he's looking at me from underneath the table where the cameras are set up. I just want to come hang out with you. Well, so we're here tonight for my regular Sunday trauma recovery yoga practice. There's a lot of different instructors or somebody leading practice almost every night of the week, except, I think every night of the week or day of the week. We're all a little different. There's some amazingly talented, quote unquote, professional yoga instructors that bring energy and vitality to it. Me, I think that I take and bring a little bit slower pace, a little bit more friendly to the creakier, crankier body, young or old. What I really focus on is what I find in trauma recovery yoga is that little bit of peace that we all strive for. That little bit of time when that voice in your head, be it a monkey, be it a mouse, be it just whoever you want to name it, is running around in there shouting crazy stuff at you all day long. Stuff that you know isn't true, but isn't real, but still invades you. That's what trauma recovery yoga does for me, is gives me a little bit of freedom from that negativity that I beat myself up with. I don't know about all of you, but I know that this past week, for some reason, has been kind of a bigger roller coaster than the one I'd already been on. I thought the Colossus from Magic Mountain was pretty big, but it was nothing compared to this past week, but that's okay. And I need to do something real quick. I apologize, but I'll be right back. Okay. Just making sure that I have enough bandwidth, not sandwich, bandwidth. So that we don't skip and pause and that we have a nice, smooth practice. So, with that being said, thank you all for joining me. As I said, this is trauma recovery yoga. One of the biggest pieces, one of the foundational pieces of this practice is choice. If you choose to just sit there on your couch in your living room, breathing, you too are doing yoga. So this is kind of like a big game assignment says. You can do as much or as little as you choose to do. This is, as we say, your yoga, your way. There's no rules, there's no criticism, there's no critique. There's just you, your mat, and your practice. So that being said, we're going to move into the first piece that we always start trauma recovery yoga with, and that is self-regulation. We practice this every time to help set a new habit, to help reinforce, maybe if we've been practicing long enough, an existing habit. But it's all about, hello, Carol. I love seeing you join in today. But self-regulation is one of those things that we constantly reinforce so that we can fall into it when we need it most. So, to begin the practice of self-regulation, which is the beginning of our trauma recovery yoga practice, we first begin by grounding. Feeling the ground on the sides of our feet, on our sit bones, maybe literally putting your hand on the mat and feeling that support that the ground is always there to give you. Recognizing, maybe for the first time today, that it's always there, right there, to hold you up when you may feel like you're going to fall down. The ground is always there, offering you stability and security. The next piece is centering. Centering is a practice of bringing the attention of the physical and the mental to the inner instead of the outer, to bringing that focus to the center of your being. We start by lifting the pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine. Then pulling the belly button in as if you're going to make the belly button touch your spine. And maybe, just maybe, you'll begin to notice that without you even thinking about it, your thoughts and your ideas are flowing into the center of your belly. As that heat begins to build, you realize you're stoking your internal furnace, a furnace that we can use to burn up all of that stuff that no longer serves us. Next, the third piece of self-regulation is the breath. At first, just noticing, am I breathing in or am I breathing out? Feeling the air flow in through the nose, down through the throat. Maybe you can even feel where it's flowing into your lungs. Just noticing, is the air coming in or is the air going out? Maybe even telling yourself, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Now we're going to move into a 3-part yogic breathing or belly breathing. And this is, in reality, what it does is it helps us to, again, set another positive habit, that of remembering how to breathe. Think about that. How many times have you been startled? You found yourself in a stressful situation, and all of a sudden you realize you're holding your breath. We literally forget how to breathe in traumatic or stressful situations. So we're going to begin this habit-forming practice by inhaling and filling the belly, continuing to bring air in that fills the lungs, causing the shoulders to rise. And the last little bit goes in and makes the eyes cool and sparkle. And then we exhale in the reverse. Exhaling, feeling our shoulders come down, and our belly button come back in towards the spine. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift. Eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, the chin comes down. Shoulders soften. Belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift. Eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, chin comes down. Shoulders soften. Belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, ribs separate. Eyes cool and sparkle. And then exhale completely, letting the chins come down, shoulders soften, belly button come in. And yes, I did say chins. I've got a couple of them down here. That's okay. Remember, this conversation is between you and yourself. Just like this practice is just between you and yourself. Allow the breathing to fall into a natural rhythm, just still paying attention to when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out. And on the next inhale, bring the right ear to the right shoulder, focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Feeling that the tendons begin to stretch out across the top of the left side of your neck. Continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in. And on the next exhale, allowing the chin to come down slightly towards the chest. Feeling a little bit of stretching and easing of the tension of those tendons in the back of your neck. Continuing the breath. And on the next inhale, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, keeping that shoulder plugged in, thinking about bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Feeling the breath flowing in and flowing out. Noticing that stretch on the top of the right side of the neck now. And then on the next exhale, allow the chin to come back down towards the chest. Maybe feeling it rest a little bit heavier, not forcing it, not pushing it, just letting it fall forward. Feeling the tendons stretch, maybe tugging on the top of your scalp. And now we're going to take and link some more rhythmic movement to the breath. As we inhale, we're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder and then back. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the left ear to the left shoulder and down. Inhale as we extend to the right and back. Exhale to the left and down. Inhale to the right and back. Exhale to the left and down, allowing the chin to again rest a little heavy. Remembering that it's okay if your body, if your torso moves side to side, front to back. Just allow your body to adopt any motion that feels right. And now we're going to reverse that rotation. Inhaling to the left and back. Exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling to the left and back as we extend. Exhaling to the left and down. The right and down. Inhaling as we extend. Exhaling as we compress and allowing the chin to come towards the chest. Thinking about how that we're going to focus our practice on linking movement to the breath. Linking our mind and our body together as we go through this very deliberate but gentle practice. And as we inhale, we're going to bring the gaze back up to the front. We're going to bring the right hand up, keeping the elbow bent at a right angle. Fingers spread wide, shoulder blade plugged in. And then we're going to shift the gaze and the palm towards each other. Blinking our eyes, opening them wide, allowing the light to flow in and stimulate the happy center of the brain. Wiggling the fingers, letting ourselves see the motion that our mind is asking our body to perform. Then we're going to take and shift the gaze down to the left. Bring the left hand in contact with the mat. Again, noticing the ground, noticing the support. Walking that hand slowly away. Shifting the gaze back forward. Inhale, reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come over the top, feeling that stretch on the right and compression on the left. Then we're going to inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring the hands down to the knees again. Continuing to breathe in and breathe out. We're going to bring the left hand up in the same position as the other side. Again, keeping that shoulder blade plugged in, shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, wiggling the fingers, blinking the eyes, maybe feeling a little bit of a grin begin to creep into your face before shifting the gaze down and to the right, placing the hand on the mat. Again, feeling that support, walking the hand gently away, shifting the gaze back forward. Inhale, reaching up, up, up. Exhale, come down to the other side. Feeling that stretch on the left and the compression on the right. Feeling your body begin to loosen up. Maybe a little bit of stretch in that lower back before inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, bringing the hands to the knees once again. Now we're going to take and move into a little bit more vigorous. We're going to inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Almost like we're pumping up bellows a little bit. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Shift the gaze up between the hands. Interlace the fingers, keeping the index fingers pointed up. Inhale, reach up, 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 and then exhale, come over 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock to whichever side your body tells you to. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. For inhaling, coming back up to center, and exhaling, going 1, 2 numbers in the other direction on your personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down a little bit more, only if it's within your practice. Remember, this is your practice, your way. Inhale, bring the hands up to center. Look up between those hands, reaching up, up as you inhale, tightening up all of your shoulder muscles, pulling your belly button into the core before releasing the hands and exhaling, opening the arms up and beginning to feel the weight of the day begin to lift from your shoulders. We're going to take and bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip, sitting up straight. As we exhale, we're going to twist with the torso about at the base of the rib cage, looking out to the right. We're going to inhale, sit up straight, shift the gaze over that back shoulder, then using that front hand, pull yourself around just a little bit more. And then we're going to release, come back to center, bringing the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip, sitting up straight and twisting the other direction, gazing out to the left, feeling your torso twist about the base of the rib cage. Inhale, sitting up straight, shifting the gaze over the left shoulder, using that front hand, pull yourself around just a tiny, tiny bit more. Inhale, come back to center. And continuing to breathe, remembering to focus on breathing in and breathing out. We're going to move now into tabletop. It's okay to take a second to pull your shorts up if you need to. Pull your shirt tail down if you are wearing a shirt. I had to take and get these long tail shirts just to keep my belly from poking out all the time. My wonderful sister helped me find them, and I love them. Coming into tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet flat on the mat. Remembering, again, this is your yoga, your way. If you want to come into puppy pose, that's okay. Whatever works for you. That takes a little bit of weight off the knees if you got tender knees. Whatever works for you is perfectly fine. We're going to inhale, flatten the back out, feel the head pull to the far side of the room. Exhale, look over the right shoulder at the right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder at the left pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over that right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. And then inhale back to center. We're going to move now into bird dog pose. This is just a very gentle balance pose that you can do to your own comfort. It's not about ability. It's not about stamina. It's about doing what works for you. So we're going to extend the left leg back, tucking the toes. I like to take this opportunity to bounce a little bit on those tucked toes, beginning to gently stretch out the hamstring and the Achilles, shifting the weight into the left hand, extending the right hand out to the far side of the room, knowing it's always okay to keep a finger down on the mat, whatever works for you, pulling the belly button into the core, and then gently bringing that back leg up, and taking just a second to notice those little tremors, those little shakes, letting you know that your mind and body are working together. Exhale, come back down into tabletop. And then we're going to extend the right leg back, tucking the toes. Again, I like to take this opportunity to stretch those tendons a little bit, shifting the weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, pulling the belly button into the core, bringing that back leg up. And again, maybe feeling that little tremble in the triceps, maybe feeling it between the shoulder blades, maybe feeling in the back of the leg. And then exhale, coming back down to tabletop one more time. Now we're going to get ready to move into our standing sequence. We're going to go into our first down dog of the night. I do that by tucking my toes, bring my sit bones back towards my heels, and then unfolding and pushing my hips, my sit bones up towards the ceiling. Notice I said this is how I do it. However you do it, however you get in this position, or whatever position your body tells you to be in, is just exactly right. Notice my knees are bent. That's because I'm stiff as can be. Notice my heels aren't touching the mat. I don't think that's going to happen. But you also notice my head is below my heart, giving my heart a little bit of a break from having to push blood up, up, up all day long. Inhale, look forward. Slowly, slowly, slowly walk to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway up. Generally speaking, we're looking for a flat back and straight legs. But again, this is your yoga, your way. You're the judge of what's right for you. We're going to exhale, forward fold again. Notice my knees are bent. That's okay. Going to take and bring our hands to the crease in our hips, straightening our knees, keeping our head tucked and our shoulder forward. As we slowly inhale, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking, 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 stacking. Before when we reach the top, we're going to roll the shoulders back, the arms out, and the head up, feeling a bit more of the day's worries and woes just float away off of our shoulders. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into high plank. It's always okay to come down to your knees. Keeping your elbows tucked in, lower down, low push-up, Turn the feet over to where the top of the feet are on the mat. Pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. And now, this is where I practice shifting from the negative to the positive, trying to establish a positive habit, envisioning myself standing in front of the mirror first thing in the morning as I'm getting ready to brush my teeth. And when I first look at that person that is so important to me in the mirror, I practice using those two magic words, I am. I am worthy. I am strong. I am going to have wonderful looking hair once I get it combed. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep it all up overhead. Exhale, bring it all down to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, steps back, high plank, lower down, low push up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Continuing that conversation that you're practicing for in the first thing in the morning. I am looking very handsome now that I've brushed my hair. I am going to do amazing things today. I am worthy. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, bring that right leg up between the hands. You notice, pretty awkward about it for me, but that's okay, because this is my yoga, my way. You're doing your yoga your way. Turning that back foot across the back of the mat, keeping the front knee slightly bent, back leg straightened out, foot planted firmly in, rising up into warrior two. With the gaze out over that front hand, we're going to take and turn that front hand over, and we're going to take and reach that front hand up towards the ceiling and bring that back hand down the back side of the back leg, feeling it stretching out and releasing that tension on the inside of that back leg. Before we rise back up into warrior two, straightening that front leg, tipping the pelvis back, and this time the back hand goes up towards the ceiling, the front hand rolls down the inside of that front leg, opening the heart to the far side of the room, and you feel the stretch beginning to release that tension on the inside of the front leg. Inhale, coming back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step back, pushing right back into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am going to have extremely fresh breath after I brush my teeth. I am going to be a positive influence in my world today. I am caring. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward. Notice I'm even klutzier on this side than I am the other one. But remember, it's okay. It's not about flowing. It's about coming into the pose. We're not dancing. We're doing yoga. We're getting our body and mind to work together. Feeling now, am I leaning forward, yearning for the future? Am I leaning back, stuck in the past? Are my shoulders centered right over my hips, in the present, right here, right now? Turn that front hand over, reaching that hand up towards the ceiling again, Running the back hand down the back side of that back leg, feeling a little bit more of that tension released out of the inside of that back leg before coming back up into warrior two, straightening the front leg, tipping the pelvis back. Again, bringing that back arm up towards the ceiling, opening your heart to the front side of the room. It's okay to itch your lip if it gets itchy. Running that front hand down the inside of that front leg, feeling it releasing the tension in the inside of that thigh. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step back, pushing them right back into downward dog. Continuing that conversation in that mirror. I am feeling fresh, complete, and whole this morning. I am powerful. I am a good friend. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Maybe you're noticing a little bit of difference in your body. Maybe you're feeling some of that tension released out of your lower back. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of moisture, a little bit of sweat building right there on your sternum. Just feeling yourself be a little bit freer, a little bit looser. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. I am perfect. I am exactly the person I was meant to be. I am okay. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Allow the knee to bend. Allow the foot to fall over to the left side, looking out underneath that left armpit before swinging that foot forward between the hands again, dropping into a low lunge on this side. Recognizing, again, this is your yoga, your way. It's okay to come into a kneeling pose. It's okay to take that pressure off your knees and come into a hero's pose. Whatever works for you is the right way. Squaring the shoulders up. We're going to inhale, bring the hands up overhead. And as we shift the gaze up between our hands, we see a beautiful balloon in our favorite color. And on that balloon, we're taking a Sharpie and we're writing down all of the stuff other people tell us that is holding us back. All of those things other people think and say that don't do us any good. We're writing all of that all over that balloon. And then we're lifting that balloon up, 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 and releasing it. And watching and feeling it float away. Taking with it all of those words and thoughts that no longer serve us. Leaving us just a little bit freer. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Step back, pushing back, right back into downward dog. I am freer. I am finding ease. I am alive. Inhale, bring that left leg up. I had to think there for a minute, wasn't sure which one I needed to do. Allow the knee to bend and the foot to fall over to the right side. Looking out underneath that armpit before swinging that foot forward into a low lunge on the other side. Knowing again, it's okay to go into hero's pose. It's okay to go into kneeling pose. Or it's okay to stay into a low lunge, whatever works for you. This time we're going to inhale again, bring the hands up overhead. And as we shift that gaze up, we're looking at a beautiful little sky lantern. And hanging below that little brown paper bag is that little gondola with that candle floating in it. And into that gondola, we're putting all of those things that we've tied around our chest, all of those feelings, all of those emotions that have been bottled up, holding us, stopping us from breathing deeply. We're putting all of that into that gondola, and we're raising it up, and we're releasing it. And as that little sky lantern floats up, 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 and gets caught by the breeze, we feel it taking away all of that anxiety, all of that angst, all of that unnecessary emotion we pile on ourselves, leaving us so much freer and so much more at ease. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, stepping back into high plank, into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am worthy. I am stronger than I ever thought I would have to be. I am okay. And sometimes it's okay to just be okay. We're going to inhale, look forward, and step through into a seated position. Beginning to feel the difference from this seated position to where we started. Maybe a little bit freer, hopefully a lot lighter, hopefully a lot more at ease. We're going to bring the bottom of the feet together, feeling our ankles, noticing our feet, beginning to take and give ourselves a little bit of self-care, realizing self-care is never selfish. And self-care is not about the big things. Self-care is about those little things you do for yourself. Those things like being kind to yourself in the mirror in the morning. Like looking at your feet and realizing that they're there to support you all day long. Now, as we move into this next pose, your knees can be up, your knees can be down, feet can be forward, feet can be back, whatever works for you. We're going to inhale, feel the shoulders being pulled towards the ceiling, and then we're going to allow ourselves to hinge at the hips and allow ourselves to begin to fold over our feet. Not worrying about if you can come down and put your forehead on the ground. Mine's never going to do that. I'm lucky to get to 60 degrees, and that's okay. Because what we're doing here is we're opening up and releasing the tension from inside our hips. We're beginning to open a pathway for all of the strain and stress that we've hidden down in those deep joints in our hips and our pelvis. We're letting it begin to flow out. We're going to inhale, feel ourselves pulled a little bit farther forward. Exhale, sinking down another millimeter or two. Just feeling it releasing that tension in your lower back, opening those hips, allowing all of that yuck to just flow away. We're going to slowly sit back up. We're going to take in, keeping our feet on the mat. We're going to bring our knees up, resting our weight on our sit bones as we come into our first of 3 boat poses. So take and hold on to the backs of your thighs. You can lean back on your arms, whatever works for you. Keeping your Chin neutral, pulling your belly button in. We're going to lift one foot, maybe both feet if it's in your practice. We're going to begin to take and feel that tremble, feel that shake, and begin to notice that tremble, notice that shake. Right ankle over left, deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it down and come right back up into your second boat pose. Feeling and knowing this time that tremble and that shake is the mind and the body working together to chase out the fear of not being able to do something. Left ankle over right, deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, sit back down and come into our third and final boat pose. And again, really embracing that control that you have over your own body. Knowing that tremble and that shake is you taking control, chasing fear away. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down, rolling over the hands, coming into a high plank, knowing it's okay to keep your knees down, whatever works for you, looking for that straight line from your shoulders down, allowing the heels to fall to the right, reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling, again, embracing the tremble, embracing the shake. Coming back down into high plank, and then immediately falling over to the other side, reaching that other hand up towards the ceiling. And again, feeling the control that you have over yourself. Coming back down into high plank, lowering down onto our forearms, bringing our knees down, our thighs down, separating our arms, bringing one ear to the mat, and allowing the feet to fold over and bringing tops of the feet into contact with the mat. And as we begin to slow down, we begin to notice our breath working with the ground to support us, feeling that support that forces our body to come up when we inhale and allows it to gently be cradled as we exhale. Now, maybe you begin to notice and hear your heartbeat, visualizing that heart beating just for you as it pushes love up, up, up to the top of your head and down, down, down to the tips of your toes. Inhale, bring your head up. Exhale, bring your other ear to the mat. And now, maybe you can visualize that love filling you up and beginning to extend in concentric circles, wider and wider and wider. At first, embracing your household, extending that love to your whole neighborhood, and ultimately reaching out and embracing your whole community. Inhale, bring the head to neutral, bring the hands down on either side of the chest, pushing up into tabletop, just long enough to bring the big toes together, knees to the outside edge of the mat, sit bones back towards the heels. Now we're going to go into child's pose. If it's within your practice to bring your forehead to the mat, that's good. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Lately, what I've been liking to do is build my own pillar, stacking one hand, one fist on the mat, noticing that conduit, that hollow space in the middle, placing the other fist on top, creating my own personal little pillar, and bringing my forehead into contact with that personal pillar of mine. Visualizing that think center, that third eye lined up right over top of that pathway you've created to the ground. Knowing that that pressure being gently exerted on the pineal gland is signaling you that all is well. You are safe. And then I invite you to visualize the last little bits of those thoughts and ideas that no longer serve you, circling around, flowing into that third eye, and then passing through like water down the bathtub drain, flowing through that your personal column and being absorbed and discharged into the ground, leaving you free of all of that stuff that no longer serves you. Keeping your head down, bring your hands flat onto the mat, keeping your head tucked. Begin to slowly walk your hands back towards your body, keeping that head tucked as we slowly roll up. Bring the head up and blinking the eyes open and feeling the last of the day's pressures just released from your shoulders. Leaning over to one side, swing the feet out in front of you, allowing yourself to roll back down onto your back, moving into the final position of the night, Shavasana. Extending the legs out, feet slightly separated, allowing the feet to splay open to reduce and release any built up pressure in your hip joints. Arms resting gently to the sides, palms up or palms down. Again, this is your yoga, your way. If you want to sit up, that's fine. If you want to lay on your belly, that's fine too. Just allow yourself to feel yourself slowly and deliberately sinking further and further into the mat. You feel your forehead smoothing out, your eyebrows drifting apart, your eyeballs sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into their sockets. As your jaw falls slack, teeth slightly separated, lips gently touching, your tongue resting heavily against the back of your teeth. As you're lying here, just feeling yourself slowly, slowly, slowly melting into the surface of the earth, you see a beautiful light beginning to approach the top of your head. And as it comes closer, closer, you feel its warmth, you feel its static, you feel its tingling as it begins to tickle and push its way into the top of your head, illuminating all of the nooks and crannies, sweeping up all of the shadows and encapsulating them within that beautiful ball of light. That light continues to roll down through your sinuses and into your neck, taking with it all of those shadows, all of those crevices, all of that stuff that no longer serves you, leaving you light, light, light. The light rolls down into your chest, embracing your heart in a warm, gentle hug. It shoots down through and makes your fingers tingle as that light just fills you up. It pushes down through your belly, burning through any of those last little bands we wrap around ourselves, leaving you free to breathe comfortably and completely. As that light flows down through your pelvis and into your thighs, you feel the bottom of your feet begin to tingle as that light pushes all of that darkness, all of those shadows, all of those nooks and crannies get pushed out through the bottom of your feet, leaving you completely and totally illuminated and feeling lighter than you've been all day long. As you're lying here in this state of illumination, I ask you to hear these words and repeat them silently to yourself. May I be happy, healthy, and secure. May my family be happy, healthy, and secure. May my friends be happy, healthy, and secure. May my community be happy, healthy, and secure. May the whole world be happy, healthy, and secure. As we begin to move back up, out of the earth we've allowed ourselves to melt into, I ask you to take and join me in bringing conscious movement back to your body. Maybe wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, rotating your wrists, rotating your ankles, bringing your hands to the center of your chest before reaching your hands up towards the ceiling, wiggling your fingers and just stretching, reaching, yearning, pulling the knees into the chest, wrapping yourself in a well-deserved hug, rocking gently from side to side to massage that lower back, then allowing yourself to roll over onto your side into a fetal position, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, your upper hand coming down to make contact with the ground, feeling the support, truly understanding what it means to be grounded. I ask you to keep your eyes closed, to hold on to this sense of lightness you've helped that you, not helped, you instilled in yourself. Using that upper hand to push yourself up into an easy seated position. Again, I invite you to bring your hands together at heart center, thumb gently pressing into your sternum and allowing your head to bow down to the ultimate ruler, the heart. And I ask you to hear these words. Say them silently to yourself and know they are as true about you as they are about me. I am complete. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am whole. This beautiful light that shines within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same beautiful light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you all coming. Hello, Erica. She's one of those rock star yoga teachers I was talking to you about. You really need to try out her practice. I believe it's on Thursday evening. She's amazing. Right here on this same YouTube channel. So thank you again, everybody. Have a great evening. Good night.